Thank you for dropping by at Equity Communities of Practice, the convening place for cross-sector collaboration, community advocacy, and personal development, where development and growth are key to achieving sustainable and effective change. Our mission is to leverage insights gained through ongoing community building to promote health equity across all sectors, including finance, education, healthcare, public health, environmental justice, corporate social responsibility, and more. For more information, visit our website at www.equitycommunitiesofpractice.com. Together, we can make a difference. And now your host, Executive Director, Dr. Harry Pettaway, aka Dr. Harry, the Equity Coach.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Harry, the Equity Coach, Executive Director of Equity Communities of Practice. If you are tired of the same old rhetoric in your newsfeed, if you feel like you're preaching to the choir, meaning that everybody that you talk to says, yeah, that's a good idea, and then you can't really get anything done. If you're living in a silo, either in your personal life or at work, to where the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, you just can't get anything done, I'm inviting you to come to Equity Communities of Practice, where I will help you break your personal algorithms, help you gain new perspectives on life, make new contacts in life, and actually get the shit done that you are trying to do. Hey, as always, would love for you, whatever platform that you are on. Hey, this is interesting because this is not the screen that I put up, but whatever platform that you're on, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, the notification, whatever icon, the follow button, the connection button, whatever it is. Would appreciate it. It is a lot more fun when you participate. So here we are. How are we arriving today? I am. I'm vigilant, and I want to tell you why I am vigilant. For the last several days, I've been watching the LA fires and everything going along with the LA fires. And I have to tell you, in the midst of all this catastrophic stuff, America, we can do better. And what I mean by doing better, quit with the bullshit politics. Election's over. We get to celebrate Inauguration Day on the 20th. There's no need for it. There are people suffering. We do it all the time, whether it's a school shooting, somebody going to war, whatever it is. America, we could do better. Let me know in the chat how you're arriving today. Maybe you are not arriving as aggressive as I am. So let's get into it. We are celebrating Social Determinants of Health Month, or actually, I should say recognizing today, because I don't know that today is really a celebratory thing. So, give me a second. I want to get to a different screen. Y'all are seeing all the behind the scenes stuff here. So, like I said, it's Social Determinants of Health Month in Michigan. I'm making it Social Determinants of Health Month nationwide. If you're from Michigan, please give me some love in the chat. If you're from somewhere else, let me know that too. When we talk about social determinants of health, at least here on this show, we talk about economics, education, access to services, built environment, social context. We do spend a lot of our time in social context because we talk about the people that do the things, right? But I want to, we're going to talk a little bit about how this stuff relates to the LA fires, because it does. And unfortunately, this is a case study on how we can talk about what's going on from an economic perspective. There's people, we spend a lot of time on social media looking, where's Kim Kardashian's house? How's that going? Look at all these celebrities, right? And if you catch a couple of the news stories, you're realizing that there are people that have, I'm talking a day-to-day grind. And what I mean by that, the people that are landscaping, the people that are doing, daycare, cleaning your house, those type of things. And if you consider that their entire community is wiped out, they have no jobs, right? And so with that, what's interesting is that some of them still have to pay mortgages. And so consider you have no job, you have to pay mortgages. Do you have insurance? Right? Because I hear they raised the premiums from $4,000 to $18,000. And I'm quoting stats that I heard, right? So you want to fact check me, that is great. But when you get into things like education related to the jobs that I just talked about, there's other people that were able to leave. They were able to get into a hotel. They're going to extend their stay as long as they can. And I'm not dissing them, right? Because they have options. They have privilege that other people don't. But what's interesting is that some of them also, because of their education, they are able to work remotely so they can continue to do their work. When we get into health services, we can talk about FEMA a little bit later, but there are people struggling. You went from shelter to homeless, a lot of people really quick, right? 0 to 100 really quick. So there's going to be a burden on how to access those services. You saw some of the automation that went in. We'll talk about that with Bureaucracy in just a minute, but you saw some of that automation that went into trying to streamline the FEMA applications. And what that did was just made a lot of fast denials for people that actually do need those services. You talk about built environment. There were people that are saying these fires are not going to get to me because we're completely concrete. You want to talk about the water? I don't know what the hell happened with the water, right? Like, I don't know why there wasn't water pressure. That is something that they're going to get into. But even in the very beginning, they only had about 250 firefighters fighting before they were able to bring in all those reinforcements. And so where you live, how your community is structured, right? We will see the same thing with an aging infrastructure in places like New York and things like that, where they are not set up, the drain systems are not set up for the amount of rain that we can get at one time. And then the social context piece of it, there's the good, meaning that there are communities coming together, and then there's the really shitty, where you have high-level politicians. I'll say you by name. I'm not even trying to call Elon Musk a politician, but just the political posturing that goes along with it. So that is not even what that's what we're talking about. But today we're going to dig into a little bit more about bureaucracy, because it still applies. So bureaucracy. Didn't work. Bureaucracy. Let's try it again. Bureaucracy refers to the structures, rules, and administrative processes within organizations and governments that guide decision-making, resource allocation, and the delivery of services. While often associated with inefficiency, bureaucracy plays a critical role in public health and well-being by ensuring systems are organized, resources are distributed equitably, and policies are implemented effectively. Within the socio-ecological model, bureaucracy operates at institutional, community, and policy levels, shaping the environments in which individuals live, work, and access healthcare and other services. I shouldn't have just put healthcare there, because we're talking about things like fire and assistance and stuff like that today as well. As a social determinant of health, bureaucracy can create pathways for equitable health outcomes by standardizing processes, improving accountability, and delivering consistent services like healthcare, education, and housing. However, bureaucracy can also pose challenges, such as creating barriers to accessing services through excessive red tape, complex regulations, or inequitable policies. These obstacles can disproportionately impact vulnerable populations, perpetuating disparities and limiting public trust. Understanding bureaucracy within the socio-ecological model highlights its dual role as both a facilitator and barrier to health equity. By streamlining processes, improving transparency, and centering equity in administrative systems, public health initiatives can harness bureaucracy's potential to enhance health outcomes while minimizing its unintended consequences. That is one of my favorite phrases, unintended consequences. All these are screwed up today, but that's okay because we are live. Thank you for the grace. So, we started off talking about the fires. I watched an episode, a news clip where they were tracking like 4 or 5 families. These were the families that I was talking about before that are, I said they are doing the day-to-day grind. They are laborers. They're going out and doing physical labor, landscaping, groundskeeping. That's the same thing. Childcare, all the stuff, but it's all around their communities, and their communities are gone, so they can't work. But what was happening is that while they were doing the broadcast, they all got the same denial from FEMA. Now, this isn't about like, hey, FEMA did something wrong and FEMA sucks or anything like that. It is not anything political. It goes back to what we were talking about, artificial intelligence, technology, and things like that. There are things that we do in our processes to try to make them more streamlined, to try to make them more efficient. And sometimes it can be a hindrance. It can be a problem. But with bureaucracy, if we pay attention to what's going to happen with the fires, we're going to see from a social context perspective, what's Congress going to do, right? Like, how are these meetings going to go? What are we as a people, what are we willing to do to help someone in need? What did we do with the fires in Hawaii? What did we do during the hurricanes this past season and all the flooding that went on? What do we ever do? So it's going to be interesting as people. America, I'm telling you, we can do better, and we need to do better on this. We need to be very vigilant, whether we are talking about providing assistance for those that are suffering from fires, or providing assistance for people that need food assistance, right? Like my SNAP check or my SNAP benefits are going to get canceled because I don't understand, how the program works. It's too complicated, right? Bureaucracy. Oh, it always sounds bad because we're always like, oh, bureaucratic system, blah, blah, blah. Let's just make it better, right? Let's come together. Let's make it better. I always laugh when that song ends because it gives me that little extra whatever. So if you made it this far, one of the things that I like to do with the quotes is that I want to give you the link for the song. So that song, and I warn you, there are explicit lyrics. I tried to find a version online that doesn't have too much cussing, but the context is still adult. So out of the blue, I really like it. I love when rappers from my era make new music. And again, as always, come on over to Equity Communities of Practice. We can start breaking our personal algorithms together. In 2025, you can join the Social Determinants of Health Challenge, or you can join in another challenge that we'll have coming up. But I do appreciate all of you being here. Hopefully I didn't yell too loud in the microphone. I wasn't sure if my audio levels are up. Again, please give me some love in the chat. It very much helps with the algorithms. It very much helps with all of the metrics that go along. If you think this content is okay, let me know. If you'd like to see me react to something or comment on something or cover a different aspect of social determinants of health, please let me know. But for that, I'm going to shut it down, and I hope that you have an awesome day.